Okay, guys, welcome back to part 2 of making a login page. Now, today we're going to do the JavaScript. Now, let me share my screen. Okay, so remember, this is what we had so far. So this is inside the script tag is where we're going to write our JavaScript, okay? So what we're first going to do is we're going to make a variable called count, and we're going to set it to 2. Then we'll define a function called validate. Okay. Then we do this. Okay. So we're going to make 2 variables that are going to set it to the value of the username and the password, like the value that they typed in. And we're going to say var valid going to be equal to false because they didn't type anything yet. So it won't be valid. Then basically, wait. So let's do something. Okay, there we go. So I'm assuming you've done JavaScript before, okay? So you know how to do lists, okay? So basically, this is gonna be your username. Let me just show you. Let me just reshare my whiteboard. Yes. So you see this whiteboard? So this is gonna be our UN. I'm just gonna keep this short for now. The real variable is not named that username. And then we're going to set some variables, okay? I meant some like things in the list. Let's say John. Okay, for my thing, it's just gonna be the for right now. I'm just gonna keep it the first name would be their username, and then the last name would be their password. Jahan, and then would make it. We can make it my friend Arshdeep. Just then you can type password, and then we can say yes. Okay, what we can do is we can search on and we can just yeah. Okay. Never mind. Okay. Yes. And then we're going to do yes, but one thing. You see how, so the first like object inside a username should be should match with the first one object in the password. So this would be connected and then this would be connected. Okay? This would be connected and this would be connected.
It's 10 o'clock.
Oops. This would not be connected. Okay? So, I'm just gonna keep. So, I'm gonna keep the other thing that I had earlier. You don't have to keep these, but just gonna keep these. You can have different ones. Okay, now we're gonna have a for loop, okay? For var I equals 0, I is greater, less than username array dot length I plus plus. Oops. Okay, then we'll do this. Okay, and we'll do. Oops. Let me just quickly do something. Okay, correct. Okay. I'm gonna type an if statement and then the UN for their value that they typed in. Name array I and we can just copy this. PW. Then we're gonna to remember that valid back then over there. We're gonna set that to true because they entered the right username and the password. Valid is gonna be equal to true. Oh, and if you've not worked with JavaScript before, but you've worked with Python before, then it's pretty similar to Python. JavaScript pretty similar to Python. I mean, there are variables, lists. Okay, maybe not dictionaries, but variables, lists, if then conditions, for loops, kinds of stuff that Python has. Yeah, the JavaScript also has a switch. We won't be using that. Break. Okay, that'll break it out of the if statement. Or it might even break it out. Okay, why is it there? There we go. Now, we can type if valid. Saying if valid is exactly the same as saying if valid equals true. Don't know why it's the same. ahead and create JavaScript. So then we're gonna alert the user that the login was successful. I'm gonna return false. Then we're gonna say we're gonna define again, and we're gonna set it till tries. And you're gonna need this space here, okay? You're gonna need the space here. Now we're gonna set if count equals to 1. Again, equal try. And then let me quickly see. There. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna say if count is gonna be either equal to greater or equal to 1. And then we're gonna set and we're gonna say else if we're going to say okay. Then what we're gonna say is gonna say document dot login dot username dot value gonna be equal to you are now blocked. So that's gonna be spelled document wrong. So that's gonna be so that's basically going to be the new username. And then we're gonna say, just gonna quickly do this. Yes, dot disabled. Now what that does is it makes sure like I can't type the username. Like it's not gonna allow me to type. Password. And then we're gonna return false. Now let me see. Now let me test it quickly. Okay, let me try this. Wait, okay. So now let me show you. So mine works, okay? Let me just share my Google. Okay, here. Yours must look. Yours should be looking like mine. So now you see. So now what you want to do? So what you want to do over here for the username is type one of the hold on, let me share my whole desktop. So what you so you see this one of so choose try choosing so to test it inside the username type the user type the first like object in your array, in your username array. For mine is John P, so let me copy it, paste it. And then for the password, put the first one in your password. Then for me, and then because I typed both of them right, it'll say login was successful. Now let's say I type something wrong. Now I'll say I'm gonna log in. Oh, it didn't ask me. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Alert, wrong password or username. Did we forget? Count. Ooh, my mistake. Okay, yours must be working. I spelled it wrong. I must have typed. Okay, it's supposed to be if count, not if cunt. Okay, we'll retry. Let me show you. If we type something wrong, it'll say wrong password or username. And if we type it wrong 3 times, then it'll say incorrect password or username, you are now blocked. And then I can't, and it says you are now blocked. So yeah, next video we will work on our CSS, also known as the clothes. Remember in last video I said the JavaScript is a brain. We just worked on creating a brain. Did you know that? Gross. I'm just grossed out. I'm never working with JavaScript again. Good thing in the next video is not a brain. It's just the clothing. Still pretty gross. Anyway, bye. See you in the next video.